Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So we are going to be doing a tire clean and a tire paint job, okay? So it's going to look like this beginning. All right. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is jack your vehicle, whatever you're using. I decided to go all 4 jacks. I put the backs underneath the axles and the fronts underneath the frame. Okay, older truck, some of the tires don't have as good tread on them, so I'm gonna go ahead and just keep them where they're at for now. But the video is to get them cleaned and get them painted. We are gonna go gloss black on those stock rims. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so basically what I'm gonna be using is gloves. I would recommend wearing gloves. I got 2 little brushes here, one bigger one and one smaller one to kind of get in between the sections of the rim. And what I'm using is Super Clean. Okay, I do basically a quarter of water and then the rest Super Clean, and it helps dissolve all that brake dust and everything off the rim pretty easily. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm starting out with water. All right, so this is where we're going to start with. We're going to see what this is going to turn out. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and just spray it down a little bit. Okay. So next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray this down. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab your brush and you're going to want to agitate this brake dust. All right. You're just going to want to go around the rim. You're going to want to try to work this in. Now these rims, personally, I have not cleaned these rims since I've had the truck, and it's been over 2 years now. So there's a lot of brake dust mounted into these rims, and it is pretty bad. So, but just remember this is not a super clean video. This is a clean prep and paint video. Okay, so I am not going to get this 100% clean. I am going to get it to where it is good enough, and I am going to sand and smooth everything out so that way I am able to paint the rims. So stay tuned. Now, spraying off this rim, you can already see how much of that stuff is coming off. You can already see how much better it's getting just by that. So my next step I'm going to do right here is I got a wire brush wheel on my drill, and I am going to literally try to buff out as much of this stuff as I can, so that way I can get everything prepped up. See, it's already doing a charm. So I will continue to do that and let you see afterwards. So as you can tell right here, this is a lot better than over here. We're using that brush wheel to kind of break it in, but every once in a while I am continuing to spray that Super Clean on there, so keep that in mind. Now I've basically went around the whole rim with spraying the solution on the tire. Now I'm going to spray it off and see where we're at. Looks like a lot of this can be wiped off, so this is what we'll do. We'll spray it down again. I got me an old microfiber towel, okay? A lot of it is coming off. That's looking pretty good, actually. And basically, you just got to go back at it and hit all your spots you missed. And we'll continue from there. And now, I am to a point to where I am happy with the wheel. And so all we'll have to do is run over this with some sandpaper. Probably 220 grit, maybe 320. We'll decide when we get there. But the process is the same when it comes to the back. Here we go. Back of the rim, front of the rim, back of the rim. So, wash, rinse, repeat. You do the same thing over here, and it turns out like this. There she is. Now, she's not 100% perfect, okay? Keep that in mind. I am going to be going over this and sanding this also to paint it, all right? Which we'll get there in a bit. But again, it is good enough for me. Again, this was more of a quick, clean, rough it up type deal. Then we can get into the painting process, because to me, being this old work truck, I don't need to sit there and put hours and hours and hours of cleaning the wheels and getting every little pivot, every little piece of grease staying out of the way. To me, that doesn't really matter. Basically, if you wanted to do that, you're basically in the same direction, but you would just have to basically wash, rinse, repeat in order to keep going and going. Okay, because depending on how long you guys don't clean your wheels, it could be really bad, and it could take a couple of times of hitting those wheels before you actually are able to get it nice and shiny. And then obviously you'd want to go through and polish it up and all that fun jazz and make it sparkle. Next step will be sanding. Basically, I'll be roughing it up, getting it prepped and painted, and we will finish up the video. Okay, so unfortunately for this video, I actually had to put the tires back on in the middle of trying to get this all done, and so that's why you see the paint. The rims have been halfway painted and primered, so here it is. This one has been painted on the back and primered on the back. I mean, I know it ain't gonna be 100% perfect, but it's gonna look really good when it's done. So this is a primer on the front side of the rims, and what I just did do is I went back over with 320 and I basically just roughed it up, and then I cleaned off all the dust, because I am going to do another layer of primer, and then I'm going to start laying my actual coats. So, but if you guys want to see a more detailed version of this kind of video, I will actually be doing a paint job to my Dodge Avenger. I'm going to go two-tone on the rims. I do like the rims, but with the gold card that I have, I am actually going to use charcoal gray and black. Okay, I'm going to two-tone the spokes on there. I got a pretty good idea for it, so if you guys are interested in that video, more detailed and specific video on that, that will be in the link down below. Again, if you guys could like, subscribe, and turn that bell on. If you guys got any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments. Or if there's things that you guys would like to see, also let me know. Alright, let's get kicked back at it. So what I usually do is I will lay right about a foot away from the rim and just kind of work my way around so I know everything's been covered. Here's a close-up look. Now it's time to do this rim. Take your microfiber towel. You want to clean off all the dust on the rim so you can go ahead and put your next layer on. There she is. Guys, just for your own, thought process on the lug nuts, what I have done is just put the channel locks right at the edge of the piece. Not very hard because I'm not trying to crush it or damage it, but I took this wire brush on the edge of my drill, okay, and I have basically just buffed out all the dirtiness from the brake dust, okay, and then that's what you're gonna get with. And then once you're done, if you want to, you can use the cleaning solution and just kind of go over it and clean it if you want. But at the end of the day, I want everything to look shiny, and this is just a quick way of doing it, prepping it and getting it all back to where it looks nice again. You see your own reflection in that. Now once you put these back on the truck, these are going to look amazing, given the fact that you now have clean rims, painted rims, and all your lug nuts are nice and shiny. Again, all you guys got to do is just go through, if you want to, clean them off a little bit. But we also have the center caps. So here it is. Center caps. See this? And there's some of mine, there's two of mine, the ones that I think I may have switched them up when I put them back, but the other ones are worse than this, right? They're like a lot more blacker. But you have this, and then once you do that, you get this result. Okay? And look at that. Look at that. And look at that. Okay? Just off a wire wheel. Does not take long. Takes a few minutes. I would prefer that probably have it maybe attached to the table or something like that, because trying to do it in your own hands, if it slips, you don't want to hurt yourself. Same thing with the lug nuts. But yeah, we'll finish these up and then we will see what they all look like when they're done. Okay, now I have this one. This thing looks 100 times better than this thing, right? And again, it's just off the wire wheel. It's gonna look really good when it's put back on the truck. Big difference. So, wash, rinse, repeat. You do the same thing to all of them, and we will continue on painting with the tires. Primer's dry. Everything looks good. So, I'm gonna go ahead and start painting these rims. Now, as far as the lettering goes, and guys, remember, I did not take this, but it doesn't really matter because once I do black, the tire is going to be black anyways. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up getting a white paint marker, and I'm going to go back over the lettering, and I'm just going to redo the lettering, okay? This is more or less to time circumstances, but I wanted to get this video out. I want to show you guys what kind of results you can do for very, very cheap and efficiently, right? So it's just more or less you're spending more time than you are money. So keep that in mind. We'll go ahead and take care of the second coat, the first coat on the second rim. So this is just the first coat of the rim. And you can see some light spots in there. But I mean, overall, we don't have no running. Everything looks nice. Here's the other rim. You can probably sand that right there. Work truck, decent looking rims, cheap paint job. I mean, can't really go wrong there. So it's all part of the process. Again, I will have another video as far as actually a little more detail, a little more hands-on for you guys. And again, that will be down in the description below if you guys have made it this far through the video. So basically what I'm going to do from this point is I'm just going to finish the tires, finish the rims, the lug nuts, the caps, and I'm going to slap it all back on there, and you guys are going to have the end result. Okay? So just stay tuned and you'll see what the final result is.